He was not born into power. He was not born into wealth. And no one was waiting for him to become great. On a small, ignored island in the Mediterranean, a child was born into a family with a proud name and an empty future. He was poor. He was mocked. He was overlooked. Nothing about his birth suggested destiny. Nothing about his childhood promised greatness. And yet, before his life ended, Europe would tremble at the sound of his name. This is not a legend. This is not a myth. This is the true story of Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon was born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, a land newly taken by France and deeply divided. The people of Corsica did not feel French. They felt conquered. Napoleon grew up surrounded by resentment, by stories of resistance, by anger toward foreign rule. His family belonged to minor nobility, noble in title, but struggling to survive. They had pride, but little money, ambition, but no influence. As a child, Napoleon was quiet and withdrawn. He spoke French poorly, with a heavy Corsican accent. When he was sent to school in mainland France, he was immediately different. Other boys laughed at him. They mocked his accent. They mocked his poverty. They mocked his name. Napoleon was not popular. He was not charming. He was alone, but he was watching. Napoleon did not forget the insults. He did not forgive them either. Instead of trying to belong, he turned inward. He read history obsessively. He studied ancient empires. He memorized battles. He analyzed great commanders, while other children dreamed of comfort. Napoleon dreamed of control. Even as a boy, he believed the world was unfair, and that power was the only protection against humiliation. At 15, Napoleon entered a French military academy. He was younger, poorer, and physically smaller than most of his classmates. Discipline was harsh. Life was lonely. Then tragedy struck. When his father died, Napoleon's childhood ended instantly. He became responsible for his family's survival. There was no safety net, no second chance. He graduated early and became an artillery officer at just 16 years old. Artillery was not glamorous. It required mathematics, precision, patience. Napoleon excelled. But talent alone was not enough. France was still controlled by elites. Promotion depended on family connections, and Napoleon had none. For years, he waited, watching the system, learning its weaknesses. Growing restless. He was ambitious, but trapped. Then history intervened. The French Revolution shattered the old order. The king was executed. The nobility fled or died. The army lost its leadership overnight. France collapsed into chaos. For many, it was terror. For Napoleon, it was opportunity. He understood something others did not. Wars were no longer fought by tradition. They were fought by speed, movement, and firepower. The siege of Toulon, Napoleon took command of the artillery. He placed cannons where no one else thought to. He struck supply lines instead of armies. He forced surrender through strategy, not numbers. The victory was undeniable. At just 24 years old, Napoleon Bonaparte was promoted to general almost overnight. The unknown Corsican officer became essential. Napoleon was soon sent to fight France's enemies across Europe. What made him different was not just bravery, but understanding. He moved armies faster than anyone before him. He attacked when enemies were unprepared. He divided larger forces and destroyed them piece by piece. But most importantly, his soldiers trusted him. He marched with them. He slept where they slept. He ate what they ate. He rewarded merit, not birth. For the first time, ordinary soldiers believed history might remember them. Victory followed victory. Italy fell. Austria was defeated. Coalitions collapsed. Europe began to fear one man. Napoleon was no longer serving France. France was following Napoleon. In Paris, politicians feared him. The people admired him. The army obeyed him. In 1799, Napoleon seized power, not with chaos, but with precision. By 1804, he made his final move. Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of France, not chosen by God, not crowned by tradition, chosen by his own will. At his height, Napoleon controlled most of Europe through conquest, alliances, and pressure. But he was more than a conqueror. He reformed laws. He centralized government. He created the Napoleonic Code, a legal system based on equality before the law. That code still shapes modern justice today, yet ambition does not stop on its own, and Napoleon did not know when to stop. Endless war drained France. Enemies learned from his tactics. Resistance grew stronger. Then came Russia. Distance, cold, hunger, and disease destroyed what battle could not. The Grand Army returned broken. Europe rose together in 1815. At Waterloo, Napoleon faced a united enemy for the first time. His speed failed him. His timing betrayed him. The defeat was final. Napoleon was exiled. Briefly returned. Defeated again. This time, there would be no escape. He was sent to a remote island. No army. No crown. No empire. He spent his final years reflecting on power, failure, and legacy. Napoleon Bonaparte died in 1821, far from France. Far from glory, from a forgotten child to Emperor of Europe. Napoleon Bonaparte proved one brutal truth of history. The world does not remember where you start. It remembers how far you rise.